What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite's new Megazord update. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below what you think of the changes in this update, and if you guys would like to use my creator code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolveJake, just like my channel name is, and I would much appreciate that. So obviously, the main change with this update is going to be the Megazord. And if you guys have played in previous Chapter 6 seasons, this is going to be very familiar to you. So there will be an indication that the Megazord spawns in during second zone, and it'll be marked on your map. And then you need to go to this area and interact with something, and then you're able to turn into the Megazord, similar to like what we had with Godzilla, the Star Destroyer bombardment, Superman, all of these things. You went to the thing, you interacted with it, and if you were the first one, you got to be, whatever that was. And the Megazord is no different. If you get there first, you are able to pilot the Megazord and eliminate enemies in the area. There is a rocket attack, the sword swing attack, a stomp, and the ability to mark players around you. So again, somewhat similar to Godzilla. One change for the Megazord compared to the previous things we've had like this is there's actually queen bugs that will spawn in the area around the Megazord and kind of fight the Megazord, and you can eliminate the queen bugs. Not really sure what the point of that is. I've seen it done and it didn't seem like anything like dropped or there was any extra loot for doing it. So I think most people who pilot the Megazord will end up just focusing on the other players in the area and try to get like free eliminations that way. Like those other things though, you're not going to be in here for the entire game. Everybody in the map is going to be shooting at you. And if you are shooting at the Megazord, once you've dealt enough damage, you will get a boon that makes you regenerate ammo into your inventory. I believe it does AR ammo, shotgun ammo, and SMG ammo. And this just goes right into your inventory. It doesn't go into the weapon. In Chapter 6, Season 1, we had the Night Rose medallion, which regenerated ammo right into the weapon. That is not how this goes. You're still going to have to reload. It doesn't go straight in. But it does make it to where you can shoot at the Megazord without worrying about the consequences as much, because you will be regenerating ammo. And it's not like ammo is a big concern. I don't think getting this boon should be like a huge priority to like set you up for the win. I think it just is nice to have when dealing with the Megazord itself. Even with the recent reduction in ammo spawns, it's still kind of a thing that once you're in the mid to late game, each elimination you get usually will top you off to the point where you're full. And then once you're at that point, it's no big deal. Like Godzilla, there is a medallion that you are rewarded with if you are the player who does the most damage to the Megazord. And what this medallion does is it will periodically scan the area for enemies. Very similar to the Emma Frost scan medallion we had in Chapter 5, Season 4. It's basically that reskinned. Or if you've ever hired a scout specialist NPC that will follow you around and scan the area, that is what this medallion does. So it's a good medallion. It's nice to have, but it's not really like as big of a game changer in fights, I feel like, as like the movement medallions we've had. And this is currently the only medallion you can get in public matches. They did not bring back the other medallions today. So there's only this Megazord scan medallion in the game right now for public matches. Overall, this is something that I know a lot of people will be conflicted on. Some people really like these big transformation abilities. Some people really hate them. I feel like it's something that you can just completely ignore if you don't want to deal with it. And while the medallion is nice, it's not, like I said, it's not as overpowered in fights. It's not like they're getting extra movement like we've seen with a lot of the other medallions. The scan is good, but it's not like the person is just constantly scanning everything around them. There is a pretty significant cooldown. So I don't really feel at that big of a disadvantage fighting an enemy that has this medallion. So if you don't want to deal with the Megazord, you could just completely, ignore it and then stay out of that area while it's on the map. And it typically won't end up lasting too long. The other addition with this update is going to be the Power Rangers pistol. This is like getting two weapons in one. When you hip fire it, it's a pretty basic spray weapon with like a decent fire rate, but not incredibly fast. But when you aim in, it shoots slower and deals explosive damage. And the explosive damage it deals is 26 bonus damage, which isn't spectacular, but it's also not terrible if you have an enemy pretty weak. Like if you spray somebody with your AR and then they go behind cover and you kind of know where they are, you can use this pistol to kind of like flush them out. And it will deal 65 damage if you hit an enemy with an aimed in shot. That's a combination of the base damage and the explosive damage. When aimed in to get that explosive effect, it definitely felt projectile to me, meaning that the shot did have travel time. But if you're just shooting the ground next to an enemy, it's not like that travel time is going to be the biggest deal. And this 26 splash damage can also hit enemies in cars if you hit close enough to them, and you could use it to hit enemies in cover as well. It's not like this is the greatest like car counter of all time though, because the blast radius is not very large, so you need to be pretty close to the where the player is in the car when you shoot it. And then also the fire rate isn't amazing and the damage isn't amazing. So it can kind of counter cars, but it's not like you're going to be able to easily 250 to 0 anybody who's in a car. But if you spray somebody a lot and then they get in a car, you could use this to kind of chunk them down. It can be aimed in while in the air, so you could shockwave up and then shoot down with the explosive shots. But again, the damage really isn't that great. I feel like the bug blaster is like a better weapon for this playstyle. If you did want to like shock up and shoot down, something like the swarm strike or the bug blaster, I think works great. Then those things also work, I think, better for, you know, griefing people out of cover. And you can find this in the weapon bunkers that you open once you reach A tier. And it's guaranteed in there to my knowledge, but you can also get it from looting. I got it once today when opening a chest. So the spawn rate of it isn't great, and if you really want to go for this, I would say go for the bunkers. Each pistol you find has 80 shots and then it's done. It basically has like a charge and then it's gone. If you eliminate somebody, theirs will drop fully loaded, but there's no like ammo or anything like that that you can use to like reload this weapon. Overall, I do not rate this weapon very highly, and I did not enjoy using it. Today, even though there were some situations where it was good, having this in my inventory instead of something else and like playing to use this, I feel like was more detrimental than the benefit it gave, and I would have been better off just like playing normally, I think, in pretty much every circumstance. If you do enjoy using this or you just like crazy things, there's going to be a Lord Zed Power Hour this weekend on September 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All weapons in Battle Royale will be replaced with the Power Rangers Blaster, and this is going to be lasting 1 hour only. So I've seen already a lot of people complaining about this and how dumb that is, but you know, it's 1 hour only. You can not play the game during that time if you don't want to, or play a different mode or whatever. I don't think it's the biggest deal, and as I said, that's going to be September 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a few other minor changes in the update, but those are the big ones. The Mythic Sentinel Pump was added to the loot pool, and this replaces the Havoc Pump as a potential reward for reaching S+. So it's not like they just added the Mythic Pump back in and you just randomly get it. You have to get S+ and get that pod, and then this removed the Mythic Havoc Pump. And then the Mythic Scar was also removed from the S+ pods, to my knowledge. So the only weapons I think that you can get from the S+ pods are the Pulse Rifle and then the Mythic Sentinel Pump now. So I think those S+ pods got a bit better as a result of this, because the Scar was just kind of a weapon that no one really wanted to use. You now get OXR points for surviving storm circles. I didn't really notice this making a huge change in terms of like getting to S+ faster, but it's convenient in those times where you're just like quite close to hitting the next level, and then like a storm happens and you get it off that. So it's nice to get the free points, but I don't think it like massively changed how easy it is to get S+. It's not like everybody's going to be getting S+ every game now. There is a bug where the queens are currently not showing up on the map. How it worked previously is you could see when you were jumping from the battle bus, or at any point in game, when you looked at the map, you would see where the queens were if they hadn't been eliminated yet. That is not working properly, and the queens just aren't showing on the map. And then there was also some OXR chests that were added to the map, like there's a new one at Demon's Debris. But those are going to be it for the changes in today's update. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below what you think of these changes, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.